starting. So when it's about halfway through, Phyllis, you want to give the signal to let people in? Okay, I'll do it. And all right, and they're in. So welcome everybody on YouTube. We're having people streaming into the room. And I see that my closed captioning is playing on my screen, which is nice to have. I just need to turn it off, I think. Yeah. I don't know that we have a
We're just making sure we get everyone from the waiting room into the session.
Eric, I can't get it to work on the TV.
We all have a replay, I think. Do we have a replay of the digital image?
Yeah, it keeps hitting on that one. I can't get to the new one.
Okay, I'm in, so I think it's working. I can check
again.
Yeah, the showcase is there. We have 12 people watching.
Mm-hmm.
Is the closed captioning showing for you, Eric?
I see it on the YouTube.
Yeah, and I didn't change anything, but okay, I guess it'll just play.
I haven't gotten it new on YouTube yet. I just have the last one.
If you need to go back to the channel, Phyllis. You need to go to, if you want to follow along with us on YouTube, you can go to 3dcon.com/YouTube. That'll take you directly to the channel, and you'll see right there's a stream called NSA 3DCon Award Showcase that you can select.
All right, it's not letting, it's just taking me directly to the last one.
Oh.
Are you doing this on your TV?
Yes.
Then what you need to do is you need to go to the subscribe menu selection.
That's what I can't get to. I'm going to apps and then to the YouTube channel, but it won't let me normally, like I normally do, it won't let me get there.
Well, we need to get things started, and
go for it. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
No worries.
So
okay, we have 118 people in the room, and another 12 on YouTube.
So welcome everybody. Is everyone excited to be here and just the culmination? Has everyone had fun so far?
Oh yeah.
Get the applause ready, because you'll need it actually in a little bit. So I guess I want to kick it over to John. Do you want to sort of MC things, or should we just kick it right to Paul? Okay, so Paul, go ahead and say a little bit about what your show.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Thank you. Oh, did I cut Eric off?
No, I was just going to say this is both the digital image showcase that will be hosted by Paul, and then that'll be followed by the award ceremony. So you want to stick around after the digital image showcase for John and Barb.
Okay, hi everybody. On behalf of my co-chair for the Digital Image Showcase, John Bishi, who's also appearing on our screen, I'd like to say hi to everybody. And we had great participation this year, way beyond what I expected. Last year, we limited our entries to 6 per person. This year, we cut it down to 4. And even doing that, we had more than 20 images more than we had last year. Last year, we had 172. This year, we got 196 images from about 50 photographers entering, and it was very gratifying to see so many coming in. It was great. It's going to move kind of quickly because of the high number of images. So we apologize if they aren't on the screen as long as you'd like them to be. We're awarding prizes for the first, second, and third place. First place will be $100. Second place is $75, and third place is $50. So we had a lot of very high quality images. Judging was very, very difficult because of the high quality and the close competition. So I guess with that, we can just go ahead. I apologize if, like I said, if it runs a little bit fast, but I think you'll enjoy the images that you see on the screen. So,
and I want to let everybody know how you can watch this. We've actually set this up so that you can use all the different viewing methods that we've been doing throughout the convention. Here in the Zoom, we're going to show it as a parallel side-by-side. So here in the Zoom, you can free view it, you can use a lorgnette, or you can use a stereoscope. We wanted to make sure everybody had that option to be able to see these images without having to wear any glasses. If you go to the YouTube channel, we also have 2 accompanying videos. We have a side-by-side squeezed version of the whole digital image showcase that you can play along while you watch the Zoom. You can play along with that video on your 3D TV. And we also have an anaglyph version of the video on YouTube that you can play along and watch in anaglyph. So you have your choice of how you want to watch it. And in fact, you could probably also even go to the Zoom version of, the YouTube version of this Zoom stream and watch it there in a side-by-side as well. So anyway, the choice is yours how you'd like to watch. And with that, I'm going to share my screen and we can get the show started.
Okay, I'd just like to say thanks for everyone who entered and congratulations to the winners. And hopefully we'll have another good turnout next year and another great presentation. Thanks to John Bishey for all the work putting the slideshow together, the music and the titles. And that's it for this year. Back to Eric.
Thank you, Paul. Go ahead, Eric, you can.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So I guess at this point, I would like to turn things over to John Bishey for the award ceremony.
Before we get into the awards, just wanted to have a minute to kind of say where the state of everything is and a few words about this convention. I guess first and foremost, running a convention like this requires a lot of effort for many, many people. Barb and I know this firsthand. We had the pleasure of working together 4 times, and I know how difficult everything can be. And the Tacoma team was real ready to go for an on-site convention, and we pulled the rug out from under them, came up with the virtual idea, and they took the ball with it and ran. Running this first virtual convention brought up challenges that we had never even dreamed of in the past. Phyllis Maslin and Greg Perez, guys, we greatly appreciate your convention team and the amazing job you guys all did to make this an extremely successful reality. So thank you. I was curious about this. Is there any way we can unmute everybody and give a round of applause, or will that blow the system up?
Why not? It's the last day, right?
Yeah, we can do it. And
Yep.
yeah, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to give everyone the ability to unmute yourself. We're just going to ask that when someone is speaking, please remute yourself. You have that control. And we're just going to ask everyone to please be polite. Mute yourself if you're not talking.
Yeah, let's take 5 seconds. I'll give a countdown. Unmute yourself. Applaud like you've never applauded before, and then please hit that mute again.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys for that. Hopefully that wasn't a bad idea, but you guys certainly deserve that. I also wanted to say thank you to the presenters. This is the
Sorry, one moment. I'm just gonna. I mean, we have a crackly sound, so I'm gonna just go with.
Mute everyone.
That's what I was.
I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, because I didn't want to mute you. Go ahead.
We're good. This is actually the first convention since 2008 where I was able to attend every event, and that was incredible. I got to enjoy every session on the history of stereoscopic photography. We need to make that a little shorter for next year if we have this. Every workshop, every 3D theater show. I had time to visit the art gallery, the trade fair, and I spent some time in High Fidelity, which was a lot of fun. Finally, a special thank you to Denis Pelleron and Suzanne Lloyd for sharing their wonderful keynote presentations with us. I thought both were fantastic. This year we were able to integrate several formats that are thriving on social media into our convention. This is certainly something we need to embrace, and we need to continue to learn from each other moving forward. For those that are new or unaware, the officers, board members, and convention team volunteer their time to make this event a success. We are always looking for enthusiastic individuals who share in the desire to keep our community moving forward. We will be holding a board meeting at the end of this week. We received several great suggestions and feedback during our virtual happy hours and hope to incorporate some of those ideas in future conventions. Thank you to everyone who registered for 3DCon this year. Maybe before we announce the awards, I'll throw Barb a curveball. Maybe she can Okay, Phyllis is going to do that later. I hope everyone had a great time. When Barb and I share an event, one of my first things I always say is have fun. And I think everyone just had fun. With everything that's going on, this was such a wonderful diversion, and it was fantastic. So until we can get together in person again, I would ask that all of us continue to virtually support your local clubs and use some of those social media platforms that may be new to you. So that's my speech for right now. I only have something brief later. I will say this. I enjoy speaking to all of you much more in person in a room of 200. I'm very uncomfortable doing it in this format. So that's good. I'll keep everything brief. Let's get on with some awards. Up first is Barb. She's going to announce the NSA awards for us. All yours, Barb.
Thanks, John. As Vice President of the NSA, one of my prime duties is to be the awards chair. And here are this year's NSA awards. Sheldon Aronowitz has been a member of the NSA for almost 40 years, as he joined the organization in the early 1980s. He is one of the longest and most active NSA regional directors. Over the years, he has written dozens of articles for Stereo World, including Viewmaster products, many in the form of reviews of recently released packets, as well as movie reviews. In 2002, Sheldon and John Zelenka were given the Loose Mouse Award for the Best Stereo World article on modern stereography for their paper entitled Documenting 9/11 in Depth. And in 2004, he and Gary Shacker were given the Loose Mouse Award for their paper entitled Unseen Ellis Island, Island of Hope, Island of Tears. Both were cover features. Financial support from an NSA grant partially funded Sheldon and Gary's successful Ellis Island project. Sheldon has enthusiastically attended 36 out of 45 annual conventions, which puts him in the special group of longest attending members. At the conventions, he has presented shows for 3D theater, opened his room for room hopping, and either had a table in the trade fair or helped at someone else's table. Everyone who has interacted with Sheldon over the years knows what a kind, generous, and wonderful person he is. His presence at the conventions always adds something fun to the various events, and many of us look forward to going through all the unique and unusual treasures he brings for sale into his room. For room hopping, Sheldon is widely known and respected for the extraordinary Viewmaster collection he has assembled, including many unique and one-of-a-kind items. He is a collector extraordinaire. This year, the awards committee unanimously decided there were 2 exceptional people who deserve the William C. Barra Award for distinguished scholarship and extraordinary knowledge of stereoscopy. Sheldon Aronowitz was chosen for his long-time scholarship, for his meritorious service to the 3D community, for his activity as a regional director, and for his contributions to Stereo World and to the annual convention. After NSA's Special Lifetime Award, the William C. Barra Award is our highest honor with which we are thrilled to award to Sheldon. Unfortunately, Sheldon was recently diagnosed with multiple cancers and is currently in the hospital. We hope he is able to attend the virtual convention and is watching now. His award was sent to John Zelenka to be presented to him in New York. We wish him well and thank him for his contributions to the organization. Thank you, Sheldon.
Briefly, thank you. On behalf of Sheldon, here's the award. I did my best to get it to him. We definitely showed him images of it, and again, he is very grateful. He hears all your thoughts and prayers, and I just want to express that to you, that he was taken aback by it. And I want to thank you all for doing that. That's a fantastic thing. So I'm going to give him a round of applause, and you for being so wonderful. Great event, fellas. Great. Fantastic.
And I'd like to thank John Zelenka for helping us with this project, getting that award to Sheldon. Thank you, John. Okay, our next award. Lee Pratt is a well-known, well-respected, and long-standing member of the NSA. In addition to serving as NSA president for several years, he has supported the NSA by his participation in our annual conventions, where he has conducted workshops, helped with setting up and tearing down the projection screen for 3D theater, helped in many other areas where needed, and manned a booth in the trade fair to promote the Photographic Society of America. Over the years, I have always been able to count on Lee to first ask the question, "Where do you need my help?" before saying hi and giving me a hug and a big smile on his arrival at the hotel for convention week. For his dedication to NSA and expertise in 3D, he was awarded the 2017 Robert M. and Lois Smith Award for Meritorious Service, an extraordinary contribution of time and effort to NSA. In addition to the time he spends working for the NSA, Lee has long been a 3D advocate with PSA and is very actively involved in PSA's 3D division. Currently, he is PSA's second vice chair for projection, 3D sequence competition director, and 3D service awards director. Lee holds a PSA recognition rank of Honorable PSA for honorary membership, which is awarded for outstanding service to PSA and the broader photographic community in a manner that demonstrates leadership. Lee is also a prolific stereographer, and his high-quality images have been seen and garnered awards in many 3D exhibitions and presentations. His participation and support of the exhibitions is greatly appreciated. For all of Lee's dedication to the NSA and stereophotography expertise, this year's awards committee is honoring H. Lee Pratt with his prestigious William C. Dara Award for Distinguished Scholarship and Extraordinary Knowledge of Stereoscopy. Congratulations, Lee.
Thank you very much. Very big surprise.
Hey, good. Our next award, John Bishey has been a member of the NSA for more than 20 years and served as vice president for several years before becoming president 4 years ago. He attended his first convention in Buffalo and has attended all of the last 13 gatherings since 2008. Over the past 10 years, he has put significant time and effort into the annual convention in several capacities. In 2010, 2013, 2018, and 2019, he served as co-chair for the convention as well as on-site competition chair for 7 of the past 10 years. He has also co-chaired the NSA Convention Digital Image Showcase for the past 3 years. If someone needs help, he is the first one to raise his hand and offer his time, insight, intellect, and when called for, his muscles. I've been privileged to work with John as his co-chair for those 4 recent conventions, and we have had great collaboration, discussions, and debates while considering options for schedules, keynote speakers, room use, committee, and all of the other aspects of organizing a convention. John's commitment to making sure the NSA's annual convention goes off without a hitch is due to his diplomatic way of handling situations, including my sometimes contentious positions. John's love of stereophotography doesn't end with his involvement in NSA. He is very active in his local group, the Ohio Stereophotographic Society, and has held the offices of president for 5 years, vice president for 6 years, and awards chair and librarian for at least 8 years. He is very encouraging to the other members of the club, answering technical and creativity questions. He enters every club image competition, has won the overall first place award for several years in a row, and received this year's Image of the Year award. He has fun creating a variety of images, including nature, people, tabletops, videos, and sequences, and pushes the limits of software for the creation of imaginative pictures. For all of John's dedication to the NSA and his extensive 3D expertise, this year's awards committee is honoring John Bishey with the Robert M. and Lois Smith Award for Meritorious Service and Extraordinary Contribution of Time and Effort to the NSA.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
Okay. There you go. It's black and thin. Okay. This year's the 2020 Ray Zone Award for the Best Stereo World article on historical stereoscopy goes to Lynn Marie Mitchell for Stanley Julius Morrow, frontier photographer of the Dakota and Montana territories. Stereo World Volume 45, number 2. Congratulations, Lynn.
I hope everyone can read backwards. I don't think we're mirroring correctly.
Okay. And this year's 2020 Loose Mouse Award, Best Stereo World article on modern stereoscopy goes to Dr. Paul Schenk, From Pluto to Arrokoth, How We Got the Most Distant Stereo Images Ever Acquired. Stereo World, Volume 45, number 6. Congratulations, Paul. Thank you. I have 2 more awards to give out. 2 years ago, when Phyllis Maslin offered to be the 2020 NSA 3DCon chairwoman, she found a wonderful hotel and convention center in Tacoma, Washington. This was a lovely location in the Pacific Northwest and would have been the first time the convention has been in that part of the United States in a very long time. Unfortunately, the world has suffered from a pandemic since January, which meant we were not able to meet together in a physical location. Thus, the organization of the first ever virtual NSA 3DCon was conceived, with Phyllis taking the leadership role. The NSA and her committee would like to thank Phyllis Maslin as the 2020 convention chair for NSA Virtual 3DCon. Congratulations, Phyllis.
Great job.
And my last award to give out is when Phyllis took over the leadership role of the 2020 NSA 3DCon, she began looking for committee members. Greg Perez lived in Tacoma and loved every part of the city and its surroundings. He couldn't wait to show the world all of the beauty and diversity in Tacoma. So he took on the co-chair role with Phyllis. But soon after convention plans were started, Greg's family needed him back home in Kansas. Even though he left the Pacific Northwest, Greg continued to help Phyllis with plans for the convention, even when it transitioned to a virtual format. The NSA and the convention committee would like to thank Greg for his commitment and his valuable assistance to Phyllis in planning the 3DCon this year. Thank you, Greg. All of the awards will be mailed to the recipients within the next week, so look for them in the mail. And thank you for all of your hard work.
And I'd like to thank Barb. It is one of the primary responsibilities of the vice president. And Barb does so much work for all of us. Registrar for 12, 13, 100 years, I don't know. She really steps up. So thank you for my award. It was greatly appreciated. Up next on the docket, we're going to go back to 3D Theater and Eric to discuss the 3D Theater Awards for our first virtual convention.
Okay, well, we have 4 awards that we're going to present today for shows that were shown in the theater over the last 3 days. And I have the list here in my hand. There's a tradition at the 3DCon, at the NSA 3DCon conventions, to give an award to a first-timer, someone who has never presented at the convention before and has submitted something to the theater that deserves recognition. And we had a presenter in the 3D theater who has really stepped up this year, brand new NSA member, and actually taught a lot of us who've been coming to these for a while some new stuff this year. So the first time award is for the presentation DIY Catadioptric Stereos by Gordon Au. The next award we'd like to present is for a historical show. This is for a show that includes historical information about stereo photography. And that award goes to the program William Henry Fox Talbot, Pioneer of Photography by Phil Brown. Third, we have an award for the best photographic show in the program. And there was actually quite a lot of competition for this one. But the selection goes to Brown Hair Streak Story by Bob Price. And then finally, we have the Paul Wing Award for Best in Show. And we were pretty unanimous on this one. It goes to Streetscape on New York City 2020 by Ikuo Nakamura. So congratulations. We want to thank everyone who submitted work this year. Everything was really top-notch, and congratulations to our 4 award winners.
Okay, Eric, thank you so much, and all the winners, very deserving.
Oh, and John and Barb just froze.
Claire, if you're out there, can you unmute and just take the floor for a second?
Claire.
Taking the floor.
Yeah, I'm assuming you called me. I missed, you froze, John.
Sorry.
We had over 30 people in the gallery this year, which of course is a record. This format allows us to add a whole lot of folks into the gallery that we haven't had the chance to do before. So that was fantastic. But the downside of this is that the Artist's Choice Award, the Glowing Cube, I made the executive decision as the chair of the art gallery to suspend its award this year because it really was a kind of hard one to figure out. And I'm not going to explain, a lot of you out there know what this is about, but it involves the artists in the gallery choosing one of their own for that award, which is a little difficult to do at such short notice. So I have made the decision to suspend it for this year. So maybe somebody next year will get 2 of them. I don't know. But however we have the gallery next year, virtually, in person, or both, who knows? I really encourage all of you to submit entries to the gallery. Our policy is actually not to turn anybody away, which means I have this incredible power to turn to you guys and say, no, you can't have 6 images, you got to choose 1 to make room for everybody else. So start thinking about it. And we started this gallery, it was Ray Zone and I picked up on an idea that John Hart had. I think it was John. Yes, it was John. A long time ago now, the idea being this is a place where folks can show their work where it doesn't fit into perhaps the conventional forms, such as the stereo theater or the card show or whatever it may be, although we welcome conventional imagery as well in 3D imagery. So if you're playing around with a new idea and you want to show it to folks, let me know about it and I'll make space for you. I'll turf one of the old guys out and make space for you. So looking forward to next year, and thank you to all of the artists that submitted their work this year. It was fantastic.
Claire, thank you for everything that you do. Very appreciated. Thank you for the remarks. We're going to kind of take a sidestep here. I have something else to say. Every few years, a member or members step up and perform well above and beyond in their service at the National Stereoscopic Association. As president, it is my privilege, and it is a true privilege, to be able to recognize those individuals for their dedication. As I mentioned earlier, this first virtual 3D convention presented challenges beyond our wildest imagination. Many solutions would essentially bring about additional potential problems. We really didn't know what our limitations were and what to expect when we decided to go virtual. I think it was only about 4 months ago. We had asked ourselves about what viewing formats we could utilize, what platforms were available, how many people should we plan on attending. These ended up being the easy questions, believe me. When you take a step back and look at what this year's technical team was able to deliver, it is truly quite an accomplishment. Again, I would like to thank Dave Camo and Eric Curlin for accepting and overcoming the challenges we threw at them in preparation of this convention. Both will be receiving the first virtual 3D Con Special Recognition Award for outstanding service to the National Stereoscopic Association. I truly believe this event would not have been possible without their expertise and relentless dedication to make 3D Con happen. Let's all give Dave and Eric a very well-deserved round of applause. Guys, thank you so much. Virtual 3D Con, Dave, that's right. What you guys did was remarkable. And I think everyone had a great event. Your efforts were amazing. So I really can't say enough.
Thanks so much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, John.
I'm going to try to come up with some special plaque that's a little unique.
Yeah, I want it to be physical, though. Can it be physical and not some sort of ethereal something on a website?
No, it'll be real.
Okay.
It'll be sent.
Just send me a Facebook banner and I'll post it.
There you go. We'll work on that. Hey guys, thank you so much. All that being said, it's kind of it seems like this is all happening too fast and closing down too soon. We're used to spending a week together. We're going to open up the floor to Phyllis. Hopefully Phyllis is ready, and she's going to take on the rest of the show. Until I see you again, hopefully sooner than later. Thank you, everyone, the attendees, everyone. Thank you.
Ooh. Am I on?
Yes, you are.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, thank you for that. I didn't expect that. And Barb, you already described a lot of the stuff I was going to say about Greg. So I'll just start by saying that I want to take the opportunity to thank my incredible team that has made this convention possible. As Barb was saying, Greg was living in Tacoma, and so we had lots of fun cruising the hotel, taking photographs all over Tacoma, and then we went virtual. So that has helped because Greg stepped up and he's been putting on Facebook classes for the beginners, which is wonderful, for the first timers, they're not beginners. He's one of my Puget Sound Stereo Camera Club members. So I'm really, really proud of that. And thank you, Greg, I appreciate it. Also, while we were working on the Tacoma one, I had help from Jim Olson and David Allen and Stuart Turley, and I'd like to thank them for the help they did that didn't get to continue on to the virtual. Maybe next time. I also want to thank Melody Davis for bringing to us the first conference within a conference, sessions in the history of stereographic photography. It was awesome. And also thanks to our guest speakers, Denis and Suzanne. Those were wonderful. Also, Rob Ellis created our logo, first for Tacoma and then for virtual, which meant that he had to generate versions for the theater, for 3D TVs, for websites, for Zoom, for high fidelity. He created the 3D glasses. He also had to make it work for social media, Facebook, and print versions. He is a master at making fast changes. Thank you very much. We had a lot of conversations, a lot of questions, and a lot of work for Rob. Colleen Wolpert stepped up to the plate to take over the trade fair when we needed to, when we decided to go virtual. and she's done a great job. I hope everybody's had a chance to go to the trade fair and look at all of the, take a look at what the vendors have.
In high fidelity and on the webpage.
Yes, exactly. Jan Barant also volunteered when we were talking about bringing in social media. She volunteered to head up the Facebook group and help with any other social media that she could. And she's brought many new ideas and encouraged people to set up their own pages, which has been really nice. Thank you, Jan. David Kuntz is our treasurer, and he also added to the social media and brought in new wonderful Instagram 3D enthusiasts, which I'm just thrilled about. And he also handled our expenses. So apparently we're doing okay. And Claire, thank you for doing the virtual art gallery and while you were traveling and working, which is kind of a feat. And I hope everybody's had a chance to visit the websites of the artists. There's some amazing work in there. Linda Nygren and Andrea Shetley organized the SIG groups, and they've been very successful. And for the first time, I've actually been able to go see all the events, except for I missed some of the Facebook ones because they were conflicting, but I haven't been able to do that before at the conventions. There's just so much going on. So this time it was great. Thanks to John Bishi and Paul Ghosh for taking on the digital image showcase, which we just got to enjoy. And Rick Chomsky put together a great selection of workshops. And they were informative, and it was fun to be able to see them again on the YouTube channel, because there were some things that I couldn't write down fast enough that I want to go back and catch up on. So that was great. And Barb, as always, doing the amazing job of the immense task of doing registration, which is, people don't realize how tough that job is. And there's so much going on behind the scenes for Barb. She also put together all the packets. She created new forms for virtual because that was a brand new thing. She had to stuff all the packets and mail them. And that took a lot more work than we know about. Also, some of you, if you didn't get your packets, she will be sending them out after the convention. I also want to announce that we've had an amazing number of attendees. We have over 700 that registered, and I'm sure there's a lot more that didn't register. And I wish you would anyway, because we want the numbers. They came from 33 countries. That's amazing. But the best news is 374 were first timers. That's astounding. Just hasn't happened before. Also want to thank Greg Stump, who's a member of my local club, the Puget Sound Stereo Camera Club. He is also a first timer to 3D Con, and he stepped up and has done an astounding job. His expertise and knowledge creating our first virtual 3D Con website and working with our past web designer, Terry Wilson, has resulted in an amazing, easy to navigate website that we've been using daily here. And he's been working very closely with Dave also to make everything smooth. And you have no idea how many last minute things we have been adding on minute by minute. So thanks for keeping that going constantly. And then as John and Barb were saying, without Eric Kurland, we would not have our excellent 3D theater. His expertise and experience with 3D space makes him a first-rate host, and he ran a flawless theater. He also brought us Suzanne Lloyd as a guest speaker, and Bob Fermanak as giving us his special treat. And I'm sure if you haven't already ordered it, go ahead and order it. It's going to be great. In the background, Eric helped the presenters with recordings and backups in case of emergency. Oh, I forgot to mention that Rick Chomsky did that also, as did Dave. All of them were helping to have backups in case we had emergencies, which fortunately we didn't. We've actually had a couple, but nobody knew about them, so it worked. And another professional to applaud is, of course, our technical director, Dave Como. He's worked tirelessly for months. This has actually become his full-time temporary job. And without him, we could not have had the success. He brought many new ideas and suggestions, including the wonderful high fidelity room, which has just been really fun, and teaching us a lot about how to use all that. He's been a great host on Zoom and also helped with the speakers. And he worked closely with Greg Stump to keep everything up to date. Dave has been the safety net for all the issues that arise. And he's been our technical guru, and without him, this wouldn't have happened. So thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Phyllis.
And if any of my teammates have anything they would like to add, now would be the time to do that.
I would actually like to give a big thank you to David Kuntz, because he assisted quite a bit in exploring all the different online solutions that we could use to be able to stream. He tested Zoom, he tested GoToMeeting, he tested Facebook, he tested Google. And in addition to being the NSA treasurer, he was a real important part of the team in getting all of this streaming set up. So thank you, David Kuntz.
Yeah, and even in the initial, the planning of the breakdown of what's going to kind of happen, David looked at it and said, "This is a good idea. What do you think? Do it." And sort of helped us set the framework too. So that was helpful.
Yeah, very much so. David and I spent a couple of Zoom meetings just going over like how we could put together a workable calendar that would include workshops, special interest groups, theater sessions, guest speakers, and make it something that everybody could attend without overlapping, and everybody could attend without getting completely burned out of looking at your screen for hours on end.
Then I came in and said, let's just get people burned out from looking at your screen.
There you go.
More work.
And we also we need to thank Phyllis and Greg and John and Barb when we kind of put out there that maybe we could do this as an online thing. It was a crazy idea and we didn't know if this was going to work at all. But they gave us the reins to run with this and figure out how we could make it happen. And thank you for trusting in us.
Absolutely.
Yep. So I want to thank some people that sort of filled in some of the gaps, which I even recently I didn't even know existed. So essentially we thought, well, how could we do these things? And we'll just sort of throw an idea out there, and then we'll just try to hit it, right? So with 3D, we always kind of want to try to do something extra. So our thought was to just try to do the world, and then maybe end up with something that is that blows everything away anyway. So I want to thank David Heiser for the high fidelity room. I mean, he really changed that thing around, and really just did a fantastic job of making it a usable spot. We had a lot of fun doing it. Also, Gordon Au, who just helped out in little ways, and we pulled him in, and he did a just on short notice. And also Greg Stumpf again, who was doing a fantastic job with me on the website and had to put up with me adding not a comma and that kind of thing. So there's a reason why he's the website guy and I'm not. But that was fun. And I guess, and I want to one more, who was it? Jim Harp, who did some great work for the people in the Melody Davis thing. Melody also. It was a great that conference within a conference. We were trying to wrangle these 10 different people all over the world and get them into a meeting, and that conference was so varied just from every different kind of way. So that was fun. I guess John Zelenka, who also helped out with a lot of sort of guidance with just ideas and thoughts of things that would make sense that I could bounce off of. But I mean,
and we need to thank Jan Brandt for stepping in and managing the Facebook group.
Oh yeah. The Facebook group. Jan.
She's done a fantastic job there.
Oh yeah. Jan just sort of appeared like an angel out of nowhere and said, "What can I do to help?" And that was a great thing. Along with Dave and there may be some other people too, but
and Lawrence Kaufman, who's been constantly posting reminders and invitations on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. He's been doing everything he can to get the word out.
Right. And Jay Kuznets has also been helping out with just little bits of filling gaps here and there, and he's been moderating the site, so that was helpful. And it all really leads up to to Greg, who helped out and was really instrumental. Actually, too, with the 3DCon info, that Gmail account, we didn't really have that kind of until the end, and Greg just totally took that over and really helped with the support on that. And Phyllis, of course, who I can't say enough about all that. I mean, everything that you've done for the entire thing, and this, everyone has asked about whether what's going to be available afterwards, and the truth is that the conference as it happened is never going to exist again, right? The way that what we had these last 4 days is what happened, and so things are going to start going away, especially the talking amongst ourselves, really, and the events that we shared, even though they're digital, they're not going to be they're going to be in our memories, right? So I want to thank everybody for coming and making it a huge success. So give yourselves a round of applause, I think.
I have a special thank you to the newcomers, the first timers. I am so thankful that you came and made this even a better event. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Indeed, yeah, and we'd love to see you keep coming, and that's our big challenge, is to see what's next and how we can. And we got to really mention too we have a survey on the site. Really, it's everywhere. We splash everywhere. It's on the site. It's on. It's in Facebook. I realized I forgot to talk to Dave Heiser to add a big link in High Fidelity to say, go here, we really want to get your feedback, what you liked, what you didn't like, where you came from, how you heard about this, and then if you want to help out in the future with things too, we always need volunteers. We'd love to kind of to have more help and just more ideas and more diversity and more everything. So that's the future, I think.
It is.
Should we get our drink on?
I'm glad everybody enjoyed the happy hour, and I think that we'll continue a happy hour until everybody goes home.
Yeah, you don't have to leave. We're turning this Zoom into an after party. So hang out now, and you know what? You don't have to leave yet.
I forgot to thank Rob Ellis too for the logo and for the wrangling of the eagle. I'm going to unmute him. You may see the eagle in the background flying free in the future. We never we'll see. So check the theater website, and we'll see what happened.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah. Okay.
And on that note, let's let the after party begin. Yeah.
Okay. I unmuted Greg Perez, but I think we're also going to you want to talk? Go ahead, Greg.
Oh, thanks. I've been trying to to cut in
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I, this has been a pleasure. Phyllis, I love you to death. We've been doing this for 2 years now. I've known Phyllis a very long time, and I think we made a really good team. I'm kind of bummed it didn't happen in Tacoma. I still have a foot. I have clothes in a room in Tacoma, so I'm not done with it. And if we have a chance to do this there, I'll be on the ground running. So, there was a lot of participation from newcomers. Jim Swallow did a little Zoom meeting this morning where we just, several of us just chatted about photography. And I did a little SPM intro that a few people attended. It was a lot of fun. And that's what makes these conventions, is people joining in. So I was really happy to be a part of it, and you'll be seeing me more. So thanks a lot. Thanks everybody that helped.
And then I had an additional thing to add. Well, Rick Chomsky's out there, and Rick definitely stepped up to the plate and turned around and gathered all of his different folks. I know I worked with him to try to capture people who are, so usually people who do workshops at the conventions, they stay up and they do it, they basically finish it the night before on no sleep and come in, boom. But we said, hey, we need a backup. What if a lightning storm hits or something? We need people to be able to see it. So we did all that stuff, and Rick really got that stuff going. So thank you, Rick.
You're very welcome. I learned a little bit about workshops the last couple of years being a projectionist, and got to know some of the presenters, and started contacting people beginning of February. Had a lot of interest, and things just kind of were in limbo for a while till we figured out what was going to happen. And some workshops that were done in the past would not fit into an hour. Some of the people who initially thought, no, I can't do it, it's 30 minutes is not long enough. And they came back and said, yeah, I worked it out, we can do it, and I thought all the workshop presenters were very good, very informative. I thought it went about as well as it could possibly go. And it was pointed out to me by John Salenka that everybody had a front row seat in the workshops, and you can't get that when it's live. I had never thought of that, but there's an advantage we had. So I'm glad it all worked out.
Yeah.
And along the same note, we need to thank Linda Nygren as well for helping to put the special interest groups together, and each of the moderators at the special interest groups, Wolfgang and Andrea, Michael, and who am I missing? Gordon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the SIGs were really interesting because we didn't sort of know how they would go online. Usually people just go into a room and something happens. So this was a little bit different, but they were all really interesting. Eric, did I thank you? I don't even remember. I mean, I think we're both so tired that we're.
Yeah. Dave and I haven't had a whole lot of sleep over the last 4 days. We've been sending each other, like he's been sending me files that I realize for him it's like 5 a.m. For me it's 2 a.m, and then I work on it till 5 a.m. So yeah, it's been it's been an interesting. Yeah.
I was telling him I looked at the Facebook chat and I said, "Oh man, Eric he was on here 4 hours ago and he just got on. Wow, he hasn't slept." And I thought, well, wait a second, the 4 hours, that's when we're on the same schedule. We're on the same schedule. It's all T minus whatever the next is.
Well, and I want to give a huge shout out to Andrew, who somehow managed to stay awake in the UK.
That is true. Where is Andrew? Is he asleep?
Where is Andrew?
He's there.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay.
Come up with a special award for I don't know, some deprivation. Fantastic job, Andrew. Every time we turned around, you were there 6 in the morning your time. Nice to see you. Thank you.
We'll just tell him.
And Andrew, also, I also want to thank Andrew during the theater sessions. Andrew was very active in the YouTube chats, and we had some really nice discussions there as well.
Do you want to tell people where they can see these again?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? The way the YouTube channel is going to work, we're still finalizing all the specifics of where you'll get stuff after the convention. The YouTube channel is not going to go away. Some of the material on the channel might. Some of the shows, some of the speakers have asked that their material not be kept online. So we will have to take some things down, but you can always go to that YouTube channel starting Monday on and find lots of resources, lots of playbacks, the replays of workshops and special interest groups that we have permission to show. They're going to stay there. They're going to live there forever. They'll be a reference that you'll have all the time for as long as there's a YouTube. The theater shows, we're going to take down the replays, but a lot of the individual shows are actually being uploaded by the show creators to their own YouTube channels. We're going to gather those up and put them in a playlist on our channel so you can watch them. And then the ones that aren't already on YouTube that we have permission for, we're going to upload ourselves. And I'm going to upload all the introductions too. So you'll have all the presenters also explaining their work. And that'll be live sometime in the next day or two on the YouTube channel as well. And then the website is still going to have its links to the art gallery, the theater, and we're going to figure out the best way to put links on the website to get to all of the archived material, because we've been saving these Zoom chats, and there's lots of great links and information people have been posting in the Zoom chats that we'll go through and find so that we can put together some documents people can refer to get all that information. There were a lot of links and information that people referenced in their presentations that we'd love to be able to put resources together so that you can access those files. And I'd like to think that there'll be a place on the 3DCon website that becomes an archive of all this great information that we've all shared this weekend.
Okay, and then also the Facebook page, we're going to probably change the name to, instead of it being the 2020 group at some point. We maybe just open it up, but feel free to keep posting anything you want on there, like any interesting stories we're interested in hearing. Any stories are good. Any links or any follow-ups, any conversations that you had. And so, yeah, that'll just be a constantly living thing. The high fidelity will still. Oh, go ahead.
While we're on Facebook, that also raises another really interesting point. The group is going to stay there, and the Facebook rooms will be active. So, if at any time in the future somebody says, hey, you know what, I'd like to get this special interest group together again to talk about something, you can always set up a time for people to meet up in a Facebook room and have your own mini special interest groups. So hopefully this will be a way that moving forward, the NSA members can continue to engage each other in a way that will work during the pandemic and hopefully beyond.
Right. What I was saying about the high fidelity room is that it's going to get reduced to 50 users because 150 was plenty, as we saw the other night with that that madness. And we were supposed to have, so Bob Bloomberg, yeah, I mean, thank him, because we went through a whole tech run through. and where I'm leading him around, and he's going to the piano and he's testing at his house. I called him at like 2 a.m. my time. I didn't hesitate because I thought, well, it's convention time, right? So we're all in the same time zone. We want to get a thing done. I'll call him. And then we went like 100. How many people do we even think were there? Does anyone have any idea? It was loud, and so the music didn't really come through. But the facility exists to pump real music into that, so without blowing up your computer. So we may do that in the future. Who knows? And then also Dave Heiser, maybe, I don't know what he's going to do with that. I think that's all we have. Some of the material. Go ahead.
Phyllis has something she'd like to say.
Yes, I do. I want to thank Bob Bloomberg for doing his coronavirus messages, and encourage everybody to go to Bob's Vimeo site. He has more up there, and they are awesome. So please check that out.
And the best way to get to that link is to go to the piano on the bottom right-hand side of the high fidelity room, and you can click on the piano, and then his oh shoot, that's YouTube. I'm sorry. But we'll check to see that there's a Vimeo link around there somewhere.
And I see Wolfgang Sell has his hand raised, and Claire Dean has her hand raised. So Wolfgang, you're on. You can unmute.
Okay. I just wanted to say the regular NSA Facebook group that Marianne and I started a few years back has got 1,700 members at this point, and we got 50 new ones this week, just to let you know.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
That's great.
Yeah, and
it's going real well.
we should cross post and get all the members to be in both of them, because that would be a great way for everyone to be sharing all the information.
I mean, even beyond that, if we, one of the best opportunities you have leaving this conference moving forward, anybody, is to get membership to Stereo World. So join the NSA if you're a first-time member. Join the NSA. There's a link in the links button on our screen. It's the National Stereoscopic Association, and get Stereo World. I think it's $30 to $38 in the U.S. and then there's international things. Also join the ISU if you're international. But really, just that's the best way to stay involved in 3D. Let's say. But that the Facebook group is really a great resource if you have any sort of questions for the 3D community at large.
Am I up next?
Claire?
Yeah,
yes.
So two things. I have an apology to make. Yes, it was me that muted Bob last night. I didn't understand the button. And I thought it was just going to cut it from me, not from everybody. And it wasn't till afterwards that I realized what I'd done. So please, no offense. I love Bob dearly and I love his piano playing, but I was having a hell of a time with the audio last night. And that's probably at my end. I literally could not hear myself think.
That was everybody.
Or pick out conversations. And the music for me, and that may be my hearing, I don't know, was like flattening everything. It was deadening everything. And so I thought doing that would make it easier for me to hear, and it might have done, but it kind of ruined everyone else. So sorry, Bob, if you're out there.
When we tested it with no one, it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Well,
so I didn't read. I just unmute Bob, and I went.
I entered the high fidelity room late because I was actually on a Zoom with Bob Furmanek, squaring away the preview that we were going to watch. So I got in there late, and it felt to me like I had just entered a really crowded nightclub.
Well, the crazy thing is, guys, is that we haven't even been to these like events that have more than just our family and whatever, for the most part, since the whole quarantine thing, right? So I was thinking about that. Like, I was in a room with more people than I've been in since maybe February, maybe January. And that's a lot. It's very overwhelming.
So
a group of us discovered that if we went all the way up to the northwest end of the room, into the restroom area, we could have a good conversation.
No, it's the Lou. It was the Lou.
The Lou.
not
It was
Western.
the Lenny Lipton Lou. Yes,
The
the
Lenny
Lenny
Lipton.
Lipton Lou.
Only because of alliteration.
There you go. One other thing before I forget, with regard to the gallery, I know that some of the artists on the gallery who created pages within their website specifically for the 3D Con put a time limit on it of like a week or 2 weeks, after which they're taking it down. So I encourage you guys, if you want to look at the gallery, to go sooner rather than later if you want to see all of the content or as much of it as you can get through.
Right. A lot of these are external links, and it's at some point it'll come down. So you'll want to look at everything.
But like I said, some of them have a time. They put a specific time limit on how long it would be accessible for, and then their websites take it out.
Oh, right. Okay. And then I also just wanted to mention the people who poured all their knowledge into the workshops. A lot of really talented. Just 3D luminaries made their knowledge available just freely to people to hopefully go off and generate more people that down the line can give workshops. So that's the kind of how it generates, and it's just amazing that all those 8 people that did the workshops.
I also forgot to mention, Dave, thank you for putting the promo together for the of the passing of the viewers. That was really awesome.
Oh yeah. I want to thank you for that too. Dave and I were trying to figure out what we could do as an opening for the theater, and initially Dave had this really ambitious idea that he was going to go into Google Earth and render a flight from the scene that you see of the mountain over the hotel in Tacoma where we were going to be meeting, and the Eagle would fly out into space and turn it into a global. And then when we realized that we had so much else we were going to do, that maybe doing some new animation this weekend wasn't going to happen, Dave mentioned, he asked me if I still had space in the theater for his passing 3D around the world video that he's been working on for the last month or two. And it occurred to us, wait a minute, passing 3D around the world is exactly what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Let's use that as the opening. And that was really fun. Oh, and I want to thank my wife Jody, because you know, she was here backing me up with all this technical stuff, helping me to remind me, like, you know, hey, you need to make sure this is unmuted and that's turned on. And she held the glasses over here. So little secret, I wasn't actually taking it from the person in the video. It was Jody handing me the glasses. So thank you for that.
So I can show the kind of the work in progress. If you should I save it until it's better, or should I show what we have in Anaglyph? Eric, you remember? Okay, Gary's saying.
Yeah. Actually, part of this whole after party, I think it's fun to share stuff. The show and tell that we were doing at the happy hours was so much fun. I'd love to do more of that. Like, someone says something and someone else runs to their shelf to get something. It's kind of like what happens in the hotel. You know, someone says something, hold on, I'm going to run to my room. I'll be right back.
So the logo really should be big, and apologies to Rob for using his logo in a way it's not intended right now. But so that's our eagle.
Oh, beautiful.
That's our eagle coming around. So that's Rob's eagle that he let me play with, the eagle from the logo. And so he's kind of a test. He's kind of a little janky, and he's moving.
Did you hit the share optimize? Did you hit optimize for video?
Oh no! Hold on a second. Should I kill?
Yeah, unshare and then reshare with optimize for video.
Okay, yeah. Oh geez. What's going on?
No, unshare. You're still sharing.
Yes. All right. So earlier in the thing, I was doing the applause button. I told Eric, and I dropped my.
He hasn't slept. He has not slept.
I dropped my applause thing, and it hit something, and it said "now shutting down," and I said, "That's not good." I'm the host of this meeting. I don't know what's going to happen. So then one of my text documents said, "You want to save this?" I said, "Cancel." And then we came back in and everything's.
Oh, and yeah, we had a couple little oopses going on that we tried to correct as quickly as possible. I want to apologize to John Hart for starting his model train show pseudoscopic. I put my glasses on, noticed it, and switched it as quickly as I could, but that was an error on my part in loading it backwards.
Okay, here it goes. Right, so I was passing you those around the world every night, really. Let's see.
Yeah. Actually, what would happen is I would wake up and find there was a new link for me to get. We didn't have any of that prepared. Dave sent me the around the world that we ran on Friday morning. The Saturday one I got Saturday morning, and the one I played today I just got 2 hours before the theater. So
sometimes there's no deadlines for fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we've both been editing at the same time we've been running Zoom meetings.
Yep. Okay, so now that should be optimized for full screen share. Is that a little better?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
We should point out that eagles don't usually fly sideways.
Yeah, yeah. And they don't do that sort of jaw motion all the time. So then the idea is that he twists and then he becomes the eagle and it becomes full screen or something. So that is your alternative logo.
Thank you for doing that.
All right, no problem.
I love it.